having a sense of humor saves you from terrible things. I was
exactly why I was
round, I was fat, I had a mustache, I had only two choices. I could throw punches or I could throw punchlines.
Oh, I like that.
So we've actually pulled back to show your shoes. My shoes are not half as beautiful, but then I'm a Miss Universe.
3, 4.
Yeah, please, our shoes. So we had to get every part of Miss Universe that's beautiful. And Miss Universe, we are going to start right from the beginning. When you were growing up, did you think that you were beautiful, pretty, stunning?
Oh my God, far from all of it. So I was this lanky, tall, very tall girl. And I used to get a lot of unwarranted boy attention, which my mom didn't like because she thought that was a full-on distraction. So my mother had...
Like it?
Actually, it's funny. My mom noticed it much more than I did. Because my own idea of मैं कैसी दिखती हूँ आईने के सामने was very different from what my mom saw in other people's eyes. And I think she's being overprotective, that my mom's always been. So she had this barber ambition. वो कपड़ा काटने वाला कैंची के साथ बाल काटा और वो भी boy cut, that crew cut boy cut. So I grew up with tall, in Bengali we say khangra kati aloo dom, which means
I don't know.
Yeah, it means a matchstick with an aloo on top.
Oh my God,
that's actually how pretty much I looked. But as I started growing up and my hair grew a little and was allowed to grow a little, I did realize that people thought I had something. Uncle and aunties would say, "Iski height kitni achhi hai na? Iski height bahut achhi hai."
A lot of women who, I think it's a good thing that maybe you were a stick with a potato on your head. I was just a complete potato. But I think the good thing, what at least maybe you could call it a stereotype, but I've noticed that women who are very beautiful when they are young, they never seem to develop a personality.
And that's true about boys also. Have you noticed?
I don't blame
That's
them. They
true.
don't have to develop a personality because people are anyway clamoring for their attention and all of that.
You're so right. So right.
Then I sometimes wonder what happens as you start growing up and that fades. Then what's left? What do you have?
I think then it is induced into you. It is not a part of our conditioning, but it leads to these triggers that eventually women find their calling sometimes very late in life, but they find it.
To find your calling, you have to constantly be active. You constantly
Yes.
have to treat life as a lesson.
And that's sometimes the women don't do that, and that's what I meant by induced. Then suddenly the marriage backfires. You have kids to look after. There are so many things then that force you to wake up and say, wait, 1 second. I thought I was so sure of where I was going. All I had to do was just this. But somewhere, when you've lost yourself, you don't know who that is. How the hell are you going to pull off these other things that are supposedly your responsibility? You're not there.
You've always been your person from,
Oh no,
you know.
life is never like that, Twinkle. I don't think you ever go through this line where the world perceives it like that. Sure.
I perceived you as that. You
Yeah,
were somebody
everybody
very
will.
strong,
No.
independent, who knows her path.
It would be so boring to be this strong person all the time who doesn't know what it is to be vulnerable and shattered at times and thinking, iske aage kya? Abhi kya? How do I do this? I can't do this. Now the world is telling you, "Arey, isse to sab ho jata hai." She does. And my own parents, you know, at times I think they lack empathy because they think very strong. My daughter's very strong. She'll manage. Arey, but insaan hai yaar. Even you, when I look at you, she has the audacity. Dunya bhagti hai for a particular type of career. You have it on a platter. You're born into a family that is so affluent, and there you walk in, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता.
पर मुझसे होता नहीं है.
नहीं, होता नहीं is not true. The things you have done in what I would say the second half of your life is kick ass.
I'm a Capricorn, we live backwards. And
Sitting there going,
Khanna, just stop talking right now, you're embarrassing me.
I was just like, she's not going to distract me from this because this is another problem with Indian women. They don't know how to take a compliment. They just don't know it. So I'm going to teach her. You just go, yeah, thoda aur bolo, thoda aur samjhao, sunao na. Nothing, aisa hona chahiye. And you're being such a lady and not eating it, and I'm on camera like munching this.
No, I'm actually going to have a date because you're
दांत में होगा तो बता देना.
We'll get the black stuff, I'll tell you, we'll rub it with a napkin, it comes off easier.
You're very Miss Universe, that'll be lovely.
Oh.
How elegant.
Yeah, but it's better than picking your teeth, right? whatever.
I'm really good at it, huh? Just see me with, not picking, but like flossing. I do it so elegantly, like you wouldn't even know I finished doing it in the middle of a table.
I want to see this. I wish we.
No, I'm really good at it.
Flossing routine.
But you have to wear the right rings so that the attention is there. You're like ding, ding, ding.
Flosses with diamond rings, sparkles, and blinds you when you don't see anything that's caught in between the teeth. No, so I'm going to have this date because I'm living vicariously through you. You go on dates, and this is the only date I can get right now. Now, I asked you a question. You completely diverged from that topic.
Which was?
Which was, how did you decide to enter a beauty pageant? You said you were not particularly beautiful.
No.
Then you had this epiphany that I need to get into.
So I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old when I first said, Baba's budgeting is very strict. You know, I want to buy this. Now, Chandni had released the film. And I was in love with Sridevi's white look. And I wanted to buy that. And Baba's standard answer for everything was Durga Puja. When Durga Puja comes, you will get 5 outfits for 5 days. So I was like, no, that's too far away and all. So I wanted to make pocket money. So I started selling. Selling, taking orders. You go door to door, ring the bell, and then you've got this notepad given by the company. And Daddy allowed me this in my summer vacations. And I made a reasonable amount of money with it. And I think people just took pity and said, poor bichari bachchi itni dhoop mein ghum rahi hai, demo allowed. You know, so ye chalta tha. So from there, while I was doing this, random people started pointing out that you should do modeling. I was out in a nightclub partying with friends where my father knows that I've gone to Mona, my friend's house, to study. And at this party, a gentleman walks up to me and वो कहते हैं कि I think you should enter Miss India. They're just now confirming the names. एक तो night club, ऊपर से Miss India. You want me to go? So I go back to my friends and I say he's drunk, you know, and you have to save me from this person. He comes back again. This time he gives his business card, and that was Mr. Ranjan Bakshi from the Times of India. And then he said, I expect to see you tomorrow, young lady. And he leaves. So now, 2 problems. एक तो घर पे किसी को पता नहीं मैं थी कहाँ, तो ये business card कहाँ से आया, कैसे explain करें. फिर दूसरी problem ये कि it's a beauty pageant. My father will kill me because I am Bengali girl heading to become an IS officer. That's his dream. तो क्या करें? Anyway, मम्मा को थोड़ा सा bribe किया, समझाया कि थोड़ी गलती हो गई, थोड़ा सा झूठ बोला था. I wasn't at Mona's place, actually I was there and this happened. So my mom said, very good, go tomorrow, apply. I said, Mama, we don't have the money, you know, this takes a lot of money to do dresses and I don't think Baba will agree. I will worry about that later. Now you go first apply. So I went the next day to Times of India. Naam bhari rahi thi. And this is that famous story where they told me, Arey, you're very brave. 25 ladkiyon ne apna naam hata liya hai because Aishwarya Rai is entering this year. I was like, who's that? And they were like, Pepsi ad. I'm like, mera form वापस देना please. Please वापस देना mera form. I will think about it and I will see you tomorrow. And that form, I went back home. My mother, 2.5 days she didn't speak to me. She says, तुम्हें अंधों में काना राजा बनना है. तुम्हें life में everything on a platter चाहिए. तुम्हें लगता है that she's real competition, then you go lose to her, no? मम्मा बात नहीं कर रही है मतलब खत्म. 2.5 days later, without breakfast in my tummy, to show her that fine, I can also get upset, I went to Times of India and I applied. And that, I remember, being the one most important decision of my life that changed everything.
Thanks to your mother.
Absolutely. All thanks, 110% thanks to her. And then started the magical journey of prepping for it. My mum getting my gown stitched from the petticoat wala downstairs, giving her all fashion magazines that she's cut out from Bazaar and Vogue, and I want it made like this, and it's a curtain fabric. And all of this, Twinkle, and I told my mum not to come for the finals.
Why?
Because Ash had won everything. All best body, most photogenic, blah, blah, blah. Sab kuch. मैंने बोला था, this is a bad idea. And mom's like, what happened? I have come, now she's come from Delhi to Bombay. and she's at Choti Masi's house, and she's going to take another train to come to Goa. And I've stopped her in Bombay. Mata, because if you'll be sitting in the audience, I will feel very sad.
And then?
So she didn't come to keep my heart, and I won. And I won, and everyone's families are there, and I am just like, my mother's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. She almost did. She was at Bombay airport when I landed, like this.
So why do you think you won? You lost everything till the finale. So what made you win? What do you think it was?
It's a mix of two things. I think that where we consider someone to be a hot favorite, for that person, that is added pressure. I did not have that pressure. I came on and just was myself. And sometimes, I say this very carefully, sometimes being yourself is enough. What made me win? I think the fact that you never saw me coming. Titan, that's my pet name. What exactly happened to you over there? I mean, your English is half broken, you're not very comfortable with public speaking, and yet there you are. Just taking it on, being witty, not understanding a thing. You're just about 18 years old. You've not seen anything beyond Air Force camps in your life.
But that's a very, very good upbringing, right? They say that children who move from one place to the other, the level of confidence that they have is enormous. Because
the level of adapting is enormous. That is true. And your ability to make friends very easily.
Exactly. So you jumped into this and you adapted better than anyone else because they didn't have your life and they didn't have your experiences.
That is also true. Yes, Daddy, I'm giving you credit too. Baba's like sitting there going, "Bahut zyada mama, mama ho raha hai."
And when you won Miss Universe, were you again in shock or now did you expect to keep winning?
No. It's a big shock because winning Miss Universe is making history for my country. That's just like one of the things that was ingrained while I left from here was don't expect much. That victory was a different victory altogether. And you won't believe when Venezuela walked away and just Colombia and I stood together, that memory of me winning it and her hands going up in the air like that, as if she had won. That taught me tremendous grace. It showed me
generosity of spirit.
Oh
right?
my God. And that someone like me needed the crown to know that grace. She didn't need it. She had it.
And then you decided that you were going to join the movies.
I was in LA when I came down to India to visit my family, and I got a call from Mr. Mahesh Bhatt's office. And I'm just like, the director of Mr. Mahesh Bhatt's office? And I'm wondering, nobody ever called me for anything. So he called and he said, we just meet for a cup of coffee. We met and he said, this is what I want to do. I want you to play Sushmita Sen in a movie. So I go, but why? So he goes, because I have an idea. I want to create this stalker and this Miss Universe story. You know, I said, but I have not even done theatre in school. Like, I don't know anything about acting. So he says, maine kab kaha that you're a fabulous actor? I said, I'm a fabulous director. You just come. Like, I love the confidence with which he told me that. No workshop those days. So from Miss Universe, be elegant, behave yourself, talk softly, you know. You've been cut to, ye bhi rakho, wo bhi rakho. I'm doing this Mahurat shot, jahan pe I pull out my earring and I throw it at somebody, and I'm doing it so badly I can't even begin to tell you. And yeah, he's a fabulous director, I'll give him that. Because he broke inhibitions in front of 40 media people, 20 production guys, publicly attacking me.
Oh, he did?
And I started crying. I was like, I told you can't act. Why you called me for this? I don't know how to act. So then he was like, kya leke aaye? She's playing Miss Universe like this on camera and she can't act to save her life. He said. So I got very angry. So I started walking off the set. So he tried to hold my hand and I just snapped it and I said, no, you don't talk to me like that. And I was walking away and he grabbed it again and said, that's anger. Go back and give it.
And then you did?
I did. Matlab, I got a cut from here to here because I yanked it so hard. I was like, acting chahiye. What I remember of that time was directors were always shouting on sets.
And they were always shouting at the actresses.
Yeah, that's
they were not
true.
shouting at the actor.
Yeah.
I remember coming late one day because it was raining. I was in Bangalore. It was raining at one side.
And you're shooting in Bangalore?
We're shooting in Bangalore. It's raining near my hotel. So I said, I'll come after 15, 20 minutes. It's still raining. They can't take the shot. When I reached there, pack up. That's it, pack up. I started crying. And
yeah, that's what that. Unfortunately, in 90s, no, we had favorite pastime was crying. First reaction, cry. After that, we'll figure out
But I want to tell you that we stopped crying a long time ago. I mean, now if you ask me to show anyone that I'm vulnerable or I'm whatever,
we
it
show
will
our
never
teeth.
happen. Yeah. I would rather people think I'm a bitch, but not a bechari. That's my whole attitude. Yeah. Not interested in that.
No, my thing is different. My thing is I'm a very nice person. Just don't rub me the wrong way.
That's mine also.
Yeah, I'm a very nice person and I'm not just saying it. I take pride in the fact that मेरा दिल साफ है, मैं अच्छी इंसान हूँ.
I mean, no one's ever called me sweet. I mean, sweet is a great adjective if you're a bowl of kheer, but as a person, I don't know. But, well, I wouldn't know. I don't think anybody's called you sweet either.
No, 18, in 19.
But 18 was a long time ago. It's almost like a lifetime ago.
ऐसे नहीं बोलते हैं ना. ऐसे नहीं बोलते हैं ना.
We've done the special lighting for 40-year-olds.
Listen, if lighting can still save you, you're not that old. Let me tell you. Besides, you guys, if you haven't touched 40 yet, you haven't lived. Let me tell you, my best phase of my life started after 40.
I think 38 for me.
Yeah?
38 was the best time. I looked the best. I had, so basically you still have the tight skin and you have the brain. And after 40, you just have the brain and that skin is a memory. So
yeah. 38 is when I fell ill. So 38 to 40, my attention shifted from my body, my looks, to my health. So by the time I reached 40, I was like hair, makeup, skin second. That's why from 40 started my best phase. I was so completely in... I was amazed at the ability to realize 40 is my day one. I have just begun. And then by the time I was 43, I was sick again. By the time I was 45, I went in for a surgery. I am now 46 and I have Hashimoto. So you continue going through this spiraling thing, but you know the only thing that you need and you have is you. You have it. I didn't have it before 40.
Like you, I think that my body has always failed me. I've broken every bone in my body.
You were telling me. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 bruises here, which I thought were just marks, and that's because I fell down the stairs a couple of days ago, and I fall all the time, so I have fun.
Her bruising also looks like there's a little bit of body makeup there. Can you imagine who calls this bruising, dude? I'll show you bruising, what bruising looks like.
Purple, but this is, I have a really stupid weight workout that I only do not to become thin, but to stay strong. So when I fall, I don't get injured. That's my primary motivation, because I know I'm going to fall. And I can't change that, but I can change the consequences.
So basically, I can never take you to the gymnastic rings?
No.
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 Okay.
I can't walk down the stairs properly. What will I do gymnastics?
That's aerial, no? All you can do is fall from there. That's all you can do, but it will be at least upside down. It will not be straight.
The only part that's working. My head also will stop working. I went to a chiropractor for like sort of muscle rejuvenation and fixing my bones and everything, and he said the only thing that's working in you is your brain.
You've got a terrific sense of humor. One of the things that women need to have more than anything else is a sense of humor, especially if you're that side of 40. Please understand that this is very important. Answer the question.
You have to have a sense of humor, whatever side you are. And if, I think, having a sense of humor saves you from terrible things. I was
exactly why I was
round, I was fat, I had a mustache. I had only 2 choices. I could throw punches or I could throw punchlines.
Oh, I like that.
So I did both.
Oh, you did both?
I did both, and now...
Punches wala nahi pata hai. Punchline wala pata hai.
Punches bahut mara hai, but now I don't have the strength for those punches. So, punchlines. Aage badho.
Very good. Are you writing another book now?
I am, but this again is not about me. This is about you. We are going back to you. Miss Universe. Zara, please, up questions answer kariye.
Haan ji.
you've always had unconventional choices.
Yes.
Right?
Because I am.
Of course, clearly. We know that.
Unconventional.
I remember back in the day when she's just spoiling this interview by just randomly just saying, I am, and laughing.
This is one of my most favorite part of this interview.
Which is where you're not answering anything and
No,
just laughing.
which is where we can just enjoy a joke without thinking about कितना काटना पड़ेगा, ये allowed है कि नहीं, इंटरव्यू के बीच में हम कितना खा रहे हैं.
You can do whatever you like, and whatever you don't like, we'll cut anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. So now I'm going to ask you a question that you may want to cut.
Since you'll cut it, so it's okay, I can pan.
When I remember back in the day, you were very open about plastic surgery.
Yes.
And I thought it was remarkable. Nobody was talking about it. You were also very open about relationships. And this was when a lot of famous men were claiming to be virgins, and and you were out there. Where does this candidness come from? And do you think that you paid a price for it, or do you think you just got away with saying what you wanted and being who you are?
खुद को खोया तो क्या पाया? That's been my standard belief in life, that if you lose yourself, then you won nothing. So who was me? Me was a person who wanted to just be honest and speak my mind. And yes, learn how to speak it gracefully. You can say things very crassly also, and unfortunately when you do that, your point is lost. Be that plastic surgery, be that men in my life, be that relationships, be that a married man, be that whatever you think is a bad thing, it exists. Get over it. You know, just because you think it's not good and it's such a social evil and blah blah blah. तुम्हारा दिमाग छोटा है, तुम्हारा दिल भी छोटा है, सामने वाला इंसान छोटा नहीं है. तुम्हें क्या लगता है हमने कोई गलतियाँ नहीं की लाइफ में? दबा के की है, डंके की चोट पे की है. And I don't carry guilt about them because I never bullshitted about them. I lived them.
It's easier to live, right? Being authentic, being yourself, because who can keep track of all the lies? And after a while, especially if you've lived for so many years in a public life, those lies come up. How do you keep that?
But yet we both know that that is the way that things
But you can
move.
see it.
And the saddest thing is that the person who is engaging in it also becomes shameless about it.
Yeah.
दिख रहा है, दिखने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
But everyone's moral compass is different.
Different.
Right? You became a mother at a very young age. You decided to adopt a child, Renee, at what? How old were you?
24.
And that's really young to decide to take on this huge responsibility. What brought that about? How did it
I was delayed. As far as I was concerned, I should have been a mom at 19. I was ready. I was like, you just know you have a nurturing side that is ready. And I keep saying this, but it was like the best call of my life. Of course, India would not give me at 19. My mother's throwing the biggest tantrum in the other room. Like, you're a child yourself, what is wrong with you? And why suddenly this whole whatever? I just knew it was time. And during Miss Universe is the first time I entered an adoption center. And it was heartbreaking because what I was doing was just taking pictures. Something inside was not okay. And then I started telling my Masi and my close friends and that, you know, how difficult is it to adopt if I want to adopt? So, बेटा ये सब करना है तो फटाफट कर लो, शादी हो जाएगी तो कोई नहीं agree करेगा. And that got stuck in my head. कि अच्छा ऐसा होता है, शादी के बाद allow नहीं करते, मना करेंगे. So at that point, I'm not thinking I'll be 46 and single. I am thinking I will get married, you know. So then I have to worry about all of this. So why is this so hard? And it's incredible. Both my kids, they changed by virtue of just coming into my life. They changed so many orthodox laws in India, you know, and beautifully. Because
and when Renee was adopted, I think adoptions went up by 40%. That's what I
read. And it wasn't like मैंने ये किया आप भी कीजिए, ऐसा नहीं था. It was just something that I knew I had to do. And to do that, my last precedent was a 29-year-old divorced woman who was allowed adoption, single, but divorced. I am applying at 21, never been married, fertile. All of these are a problem. And they would obviously fight it. At 24, finally, my matter came up in the High Court. And I had told my dad, Baba, you continue holding Renee all the time. Because the minute I applied for adoption, she came to me under foster care. 6 months after that, the court hearing happens. In this court hearing, if they say unfit, they take the child away immediately after 6 months of the child being with you. So I have told Baba and my driver कि बाबा जैसे ही बाहर निकलेंगे रूम से गाड़ी स्टार्ट करो हम भाग जाएंगे बच्चे को लेके ये तो मजाक है I mean you can't say no after this, you know, she's almost calling me ma, you can't do that. So anyway, I was very childish. I still am sometimes. So my father's like,
beta, I'm not childish. This is remarkable. I mean, people don't have this much maturity and
कि भाग जाना बच्चे को लेके भाग जाना.
I mean, at that particular time to have it, people get moved by experiences, but how many of them take it forward? You did.
That's true. That is true. I know that to be true. And then 24, when that happened, and the judge looked at me and said, in my 38 years of practice, if I sign this order today, you and I are both going to be responsible if you don't do this job well. And I'm already sobbing. I promise you I will do this really well. Please don't take her away from me. She's already my baby. I know, you can't behave like that. No. I'm just like hysterical in the court. I'm thinking they're going to any moment just say no. And then he asked my father. That I think sealed it. That you do realize, Mr. Sen, ke your daughter's marriage, everything will get affected with this decision. You okay with that? So my father said, no, father will be okay with that, Your Honor. He was so honest. I love him. He said, but what I know for sure is we haven't raised her to be, her only identity to be someone's wife. She's chosen this motherhood, and the one thing I know my daughter to do is follow through. She will follow through. And she has my support. She has her mother, she has the family. Give us Renee. Just a tuck. I will never forget that stamp he put. Oh my God, to this day I think. Because for Alisa, it was like, Arey ma'am, kaise hai? Renee kaisi hai? Tuck. It was like that, you know. But Renee was big fight. Alisa was a bigger fight in the Supreme Court. Because the law said कि आपने अगर एक बेटी adopt की है, तो you cannot adopt another girl after that.
Same gender. Yeah.
But there are only girls in the orphanage. What's wrong with you? You know, so 10 years, we fought this as a class action suit with other families waiting as well. And we won on, I think, 15th of November, 18th of November, Alisa came home.
Wow.
So her favorite story to tell is my mother had to wait 10 years. She had to change laws. Then I came.
I mean, that's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't have such a beautiful story, but I also have a 10-year gap.
Yes, and how incredible, right? We do have kids 10 years apart, and it's really something, because math-wise, it's so easy. What are your children's ages? 22, 12, 23, 13.
19, 9, because otherwise I would forget.
I would, seriously, sometimes I'm just like, birthday kya hai? I end up saying, iska birthday udhar, uska birthday udhar. You know, it's just like, just because you're mothers, you're not supposed to know everything, right?
You are meant to forget things. I was making Nitara's email ID, and it's Nitara whatever at 2015 because I forgot what year she was born. She was born in 2012. So now everyone in the family says, but why is it 2015? And she's going to ask you this, what are you going to say? I forgot. You're born. It's a fact.
What does Nitara mean, the name?
It means deeply rooted. Like a potato. No, deeply rooted in Sanskrit. But yeah, that's
beautiful.
what I tease her and say.
Yeah, I was wondering what it meant when I heard the name. Very pretty.
Nice name. But being a parent is not as easy. I mean, you've taken a more convoluted path because even when you have your own child, people say, oh, you know, you see your child and fall in love immediately, and that doesn't happen. No, it didn't happen for me. I mean, I carried her for 9 months and it still didn't happen.
No, why is there postpartum then? Of course it exists, because it's not a natural thing for you to just straight away say, "Arey, mera bachcha hai."
Yeah, so, and then if you have a child who you haven't really, you know, sort of been thinking about, or it's inside your body, then does that love
What a beautiful
take time?
question. Oh, that's a very, very beautiful question. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It takes time for you to grow an umbilical connection, but it grows. I'll tell you, it grows so strong that when Renee came, she was a very unwell child. She was not actually fit for adoption. So she had accumulated water in her lungs.
Okay.
And her growth was 3 months short of her actual age, which was 6 months. So her brain circumference was smaller than a normal 6-month-old child. So my mom was there. And what happens now also, when you're an adoptive parent, everybody in the world thinks they have a business of telling you how to raise your child, because तुम्हें नहीं आता है.
But isn't that strange?
It is. And initially आप सुनते भी हो कि हाँ मुझे नहीं आता है, सीख लेती हूँ, you know. Maybe they'll tell me something that I should know, because they have experience. But it still happens, huh? They're 22 and they still think that they can tell me how best to raise my children because they're adopted. I find that extremely annoying, and I have to spiritually awaken inside to forgive that sometimes.
Maybe it's not because they adopted. Everybody comes and tells you how you have to raise your children.
But in this case, more so, yeah, I'm telling you, through experience. So anyway, my mom kept saying, beta, you're overreacting. She's a child, बच्चों को होती है, बुखार होता है, सर्दी लगती है, बच्चा चीखता है. You can't every time say, I have to take her to the hospital, I have to take her to the hospital. So I was like, you go shoot. I was shooting with David at that time, and सुबह 7 बजे की shift है बेटा, don't do this, I'm here, I'll take care. That day when I came back, Renee was sleeping. As was habit, I pack up, I finish, I come to the crib and I start to play with her nose. I don't want to wake her, but I want to touch her. So I do that, and she opened her eyes and started bawling, seeing me, right? So I picked her up, and I could feel her wheezing from the back. I was in a night suit because I'd just changed. My mom's like, beta, nothing, she's fine and all. I haven't spoken to my mom. I had a black CLO, chabi liya, usko belt mein banda. I drove alone in my pajamas to Nanavati, ICU. Instinct. My daughter almost died that night. And that was just an instinct of a mother. I knew nothing, that there's bronchial water, this is fatal, nothing. Just she looked at me, she cried. She's asking for help. That was it. We were there for 2.5 weeks. She was admitted in Nanavati, very serious. And my mom comes to me afterwards and she says, "Bas, ab main ghar ja rahi hu. I don't need to be here. I should have been more careful." But you have a mother's instinct, we shouldn't interfere with it. Mom, dad, everyone packed their bags, went home. After she came back from the hospital, they stayed till then, of course. And then that's when Renee came into her healthy side. She's still a petite girl because of those earlier issues with her health. But I keep telling her, the last thing you want to do is try and be mama's height. Because for that, you have to be much more than height in centimeters. You have to stand tall all throughout your life. So whenever you look for a resemblance with me, don't look at the height. Because that's just one place you can be way taller than your mother's ever been. Right? She gets that. Alisa, on the other hand, is like, the whole world keeps saying, Renee Didi looks like you. Huh? What's wrong with me? Why do I not look like you? So I said, because you're more like me. She looks like me. You're more like me. And that's true, huh? As a person, Alisa has somehow bettered the essence of who I am.
I think moms, what your mom is like, it kind of defines your entire life. And you are maybe a fraction of what they are, but sometimes a fraction is more than enough.
Oh yes,
that's what I think.
Oh yes, absolutely. But yeah,
and now you're a mom, and this is what you're going to do with your kids. They have such a great role model when they look up at you. Yeah. I was also wondering, I know that when my husband travels, I feel I have to play the dual role.
Yes.
And it's not really gender based, like he's the man, I'm the woman. But my weaknesses, I'm an overthinker, he's a laid back person. And I feel that when the kids are there, you need a balance of both. Do you feel sometimes that you struggle with playing a dual role in their lives, or one person can manage everything?
I think whether you're married, not married, most children grow up with a single parent. That is a fact. So you innately have the capacity to do both. You just have it. It's like now I've had practice for 23 years almost. So for me, it's second nature. It comes to me very easy now. Initially, it was a little bit of prioritizing, compartmentalizing. I have to ask these questions. I cannot just be a mother. I'm also the provider. I also have professional commitments, and I cannot be not dependable. You just get up one day and run because your child is not well. Prepare better. So if daddy can't handle it, daddy, mummy, chacha, chachi, everybody will be on call till I finish shooting. But I will only run when I know I have to. And that slowly, I learned, yes. And now it's amazing, you know, because my kids are like grown up, but still emotionally they need me all the time. And it's beautiful. Thank God they do.
When you decided to adopt these kids and the judge asked your dad about marriage, as you grew older, was that something that stayed in your mind and that's why you didn't get married, because you had adopted these kids? And would it be difficult, or marriage is just of no consequence?
Once I became a mother and Renee happened, forget Alisa, Renee happened, there was no man thereafter who came into my life that didn't know my priority was her. There was no two ways about it. And so it wasn't like, I love you, baby, and I'll do anything for you, because I wasn't that age, one. At B, I was not giving false hopes anywhere. This was it. And my daughter is very, very important to me till a certain age, because she needs me. Now, I don't expect anybody to come and share the responsibility, but never try and ask me to step away from it, because that's something. Luckily, I have met some very interesting men in my life. The only reason I never got married is because they were a letdown. It had nothing to do with my kids. My kids were never in the equation. If at all, I think they've been very gracious, both my kids. They have accepted people in my life with open arms, never made a face.
That's so lovely.
Yeah, open arms, and given everybody equal measure of love and respect. It's the most beautiful thing to watch. No. Kids were never a part of the thing. Came close to getting married thrice. All 3 times God saved me. I can't tell you what disasters followed over there with their respective lives. But yeah, God did protect me. I think also because God is protecting these 2 kids. He can't let me get into a messy affair.
I think that's lovely. So last question. What do you have to say to all the women in their 40s about love, life, and their laugh lines? What is your advice?
Well, laugh a lot. There's always fillers, I've met a lot of people that have forgotten how to do that, because they're constantly like, oh, my aesthetic clinic said this will get spoiled and that will get spoiled, and I will, I have met people like that. Then you're not enjoying the aesthetic clinic. You should enjoy it and know that it's there, and then just go have a great time, enjoy yourself. And when you look at yourself in the mirror every day, look at yourself in the mirror. Don't do it out of habit. Look at yourself in the mirror. You will see such conviction behind those eyes. And that to me is the ultimate beauty. So enjoy that and enjoy being alive. I often say, why do you keep saying you're 46? But I am 46. I have had the privilege to be 46. A lot of that privilege is denied to many people. So don't be afraid to grow old. Just remember to live your life. It's a beautiful, most powerful vehicle you'll ever have. And an experience like this one. You are amazing, my dear. I remain a fan. She never ever lets me say anything about her. No, I don't understand why.
This is not
and did you see the interview got so serious the minute she didn't let me speak about her? That's why she's called Mrs. Funny Bones.
No, everyone is just signaling from the back. She has to go, she has to go. So I'm like trying. And we have one person like a vampire standing there, just like...
Say hi, Rochelle.
No, but it was lovely, lovely having you here.
I am so glad this interview happened. It's been a really long time that I've had a conversation like this and just poured my heart out. Thank you.
Oh, it's been beautiful. Thank you so much.